but he did it, and I was like, okay, I see what it is. Brian has a temper, and but apparently he's worth keeping because he's allowed to get compliances.
If I'm actually thinking you're acting different, manic, spitting sounds of manic depression.
Listen, that's been happening in any retail environment for a million years now. You know what I mean? Technology fucked that up for a little bit, but not enough. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you think about technology, I mean, like when we worked at Sears, you know, that was just simple like matching up. Like
correct.
If the door was short,
yeah,
you just watch the video that was on your thing, and we saw you, you know, thinking you were slick.
Correct. Even though one time I got fired from, well, I didn't get fired, but did I get? I guess I did. I kind of got fired. No, I was forced to give him my 2 weeks when I worked at. I don't know if you know this story. When I worked at Pathmark. Did I ever say this story?
No.
When I worked at. So when I worked at Pathmark, you know, obviously I started as the cart boy, and then they moved me in. I didn't want to go in. I didn't want nothing to do with the register.
Right.
And what happened was, and this is what I think happened partially, and it happened. I'm positive. There was this girl that I was like, we were cool. It was a weird thing. If I was Brian now, I would have 100%. We would have like hooked up or something. But at that time, Brian at that time was too fucking stupid and clumsy. And she worked there. She was the niece of the manager of that general manager of that Pathmark. This guy named Bob. This is why I hate Bobs. I hate every fucking Bob. Bob there, Bob at Sears. Every Bob can suck a dick. When they moved me in to the register, all of a sudden, every week, my register was short $20. And I was like, yo, I don't know. Like, I'm literally not taking money. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every week. Finally, they bring me in and they say, you know, we're going to have to fire you or you're going to have to resign. So I resign. I give them my 2 weeks. And the last week I'm there, it's not short. And I knew at that moment that this fucking Bob or somebody was setting me up. And me and my father caused a ruckus in that Pathmark that day. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, yo, how I've been short all this time. Literally, you can watch the cameras. I'm not doing anything. It's $20 almost every single fucking week. And then this last week, I'm not short anymore. And I think it's because that dude didn't like the relationship I had with his niece. You know what I mean? And I felt like he set me up there at Pathmark.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened, man. That happened. So, man, I lived a crazy life, man. I'd be out here, you know what I mean, getting set up at Pathmark.
Or maybe you just don't know how to count.
You can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. You're a little Happy Gilmore.
Quick, whatchamacallit? What was your favorite job besides the one now? Okay. What's your favorite job that you've ever had of all time?
Oh, I hated all of them. You know, I have a soft spot for Sears. I have a soft spot for it. I hated it, but I have a soft spot for it. Because I met so many people there that I was cool, like that I stayed cool with. Right. Even though I had beef with one dude who was a lying sack of shit at one point, but that's beside the point. But there was we met so many cool people. Aaron was probably one of the last people I met, cool as fuck. Right. Michelle was like a mother to me, you know what I mean? Like Mercy. Were you there when Mercy was there?
I can't remember.
No. Mercy, did I tell you? You know the story about the sexual harassment thing that someone said about me? I won't say who, but you know the person who said it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Did you ever tell you the story?
No, remind me.
Okay, I'm giving all the work stories right now.
Yeah.
So when this person's boyfriend/fiance started working at Sears.
Yep.
All of a sudden, maybe a week or two later, I get accused of sexual harassment on this person. And Mercy was her manager. And Mercy, I had worked with Mercy now at this point for probably a year. Everyone knew who I was. You know what I mean? I'm hot-headed, but work my ass off. And Mercy peeped that she kept coming into merchandise pickup. She had no issues going there. Because remember, you were technically supposed to go to the break room through the back, not the merchandise pickup. But people will come to merchandise pickup because they like bullshitting with us. You know what I mean? We would all joke around. Or when Rob was in security or Maurice was there. And she peeped that she kept coming into merchandise pickup. She was like, why are you always down there if this person is sexually harassing you? You know what I mean? And eventually they whatever. I don't know how it played out, but they fired her for it. The next day after they fired her, the next day, her dude comes up to me and shakes my hand mad randomly. Comes and shakes my hand. And I'm like, what the fuck are you? We don't like each other. We've never liked each other. Obviously, because we knew him outside of here.
Right,
you know what I mean? You never liked me, and I never liked you. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you shaking my hand for? Because this cocksucker told her to do that. You know what I mean? I be getting set up at work. Or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I was a sexual harassing $20 a week stealer from Pathmark all of my life, and I had no idea. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like
$20 a week stealer.
Yeah, $20 a week stealing sexual harasser.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, I think, like Sears probably was my favorite job.
Yeah. I mean, retail's terrible. Who likes retail?
You know what it is? Retail's terrible. Now, here's the thing. If you separate, like, as far as the pay and all that, but if you think about, like, the time and the people you get to meet, you know, like, being in that type of environment, you get to meet people, you're cool with them and whatnot. And it's a completely different time. Like, you know, so.
It's the definition of the foxhole, right? Because when, like, on days like Black Friday specifically, if you're in retail long enough, when you work in Black Friday,
right,
you develop a relationship with the people that you're going to see at like 4 a.m. until 4 p.m. when you leave or whatever time you leave, because it's fucking popping.
Yeah.
At least back then. Now is different, but back then it would be insane.
Yeah.
And you develop the relationship with those people, and it becomes like a foxhole mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and also it's also yeah. You know what it is too? It's also like you know, like, and there's probably some sort of term for this, but it's like it's like when you do something that's like strenuous with someone and someone has your back during that time, like you don't forget that. You know what I mean? So, like, you'll think about, them Christmases were horrendous.
Yep.
Like, you know, and I think that's what, like, when I worked at Enterprise, it was a horrendous job. Like, no doubt about it. It's not a fun job.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be some fun parts, but it's high stress, you know, very, very stressful. But the thing is, you end up being close to all those people because they're just as stressed as you. No one is like you all in the hole, you know, like.
Yeah.
We've had the worst of the worst, and like that's why, like, when you ever see anyone of your old coworkers, it's always love.
It's love.
You've been through the whole, you know, the mud. You've been through the mud.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Lou became kind of a lifelong friend. I don't talk to him as much, but, you know, it's always love with him. Like, you know what I mean? I'll always, like, if he ever needed anything, he could always hit me up. Like, that's a dude that will be one of my closest friends forever. You know what I mean? That I met at Sears. But yeah, I mean, it's because it's so fucking terrible. You know what I mean? It's about how terrible it is that makes it that way. But it would be Sears for sure. I mean, every job outside of that was terrible. I'm trying to think if there's anything that would compete.
What about City Blue? When you were
City Blue was good. City Blue was good. I didn't take any friends from there. That's shameful though. That's my fault. I mean, I do have some friends that I worked at City Blue with that I'm still cool with. But Lou is my closest out of any person I met at work that I got cool with. Right. Lou is my closest friend. And then I had other people that I got really, really tight with too. But City Blue was a specific. I don't even want to shit on, like, if I put this out, I don't want to shit on anyone. You know what I mean? Because I don't. It was a specific experience that I had to. That once I smartened up to it, I was no longer angry about my experience there. You know what I mean? Once I realized what was going on, I understood it, and I was like, I get it. You know what I mean? But with that said, no, you know, I met a lot. You know what? I had a lot of perspectives changed because you meet so many hood motherfuckers at City Blue, right? You know, and we've met them. You know what I mean? I've met a lot of hood dudes, but you meet like dudes in the mud. You know what I mean? Dudes and chicks in the mud. Chicks that are scammers, dudes that are scammers, every drug dealer, everybody. You meet them all, and it gives you a different perspective because you may have a one thought of what these people might entail. There was one chick that I won't say her name, not that she'll ever hear this, but who, when I first started working, I remember thinking this is the most ratchet person I ever met in my life. I mean, just the most ratchet human fucking being I've ever met in my entire life. By the end of my time there, I was like, this is the realest person I've ever met in my life. Just the realest, one of the most pure people I've ever met. You know what I mean? Yeah. We all have flaws and faults and all that, but if I had to get real from somebody, I would get it from her. She would give the real. Like, she is real. That person was pure.
She shoots from the hip.
Yeah, exactly. And just everything about her was that way. You know what I mean? Straight shooter and waste because of her. I mean, this is an R&B song right here. You know what I mean? Because of her experiences in her life, she had this crazy rough exterior, but I had seen a different side of her.
Right.
That I was like, damn, you've been made this way, but this is not who you actually should be or want to be. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
That was one of the realest people I ever met in my life. Shout out to her. Her name was Hazel. It don't matter. If she ever did see this, then
there's like
shout out to her.
A billion Hazels.
A million, but she knows who it is. You see me, yeah. She's gonna know who she is. And if anyone watches this, there are some people who work at City Blue who still watch this. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what? She was one of the realest motherfuckers I ever met in my life. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people I had love for that if I saw today, it would be all love. I wish we could have a reunion because it would be all love like that. But it would be Sears 1, City Blue 2 probably. You know what I mean? Because City Blue, I was more jaded at that point, and I was sleeping in the van, sleeping on couches, like going through way too much shit in my life to even appreciate half of the experiences I had there at that point.
Right.
There's way too many. There's too much shit happening. Like, Sears was pure, innocent Brian, you know, taking on the world by fucking stupid storm and fucking it up the whole way. But, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Sears would be, because it was an innocent time, a younger time.
Yeah.
All I was stealing was hours at that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't care because I was a really good worker, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what it also is like you look back at that time, and you always have like an affinity for when you were like, I guess younger or whatever.
Romanticize it.
You romanticize it. Yeah, because I remember just like, you know, it was just cool. You know, you came in there. You know, it wasn't like so complicated.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty easy. You know, to do your job. But yeah, man, that was I would definitely say Sears. That was definitely my best. LP.
Yeah. And that's what ruined my back, no question. Sears is what ruined my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a question, I fucked my back up at Sears.
Well, you know what? For those listeners, let me tell you Brian's story. And he's heard me repeat this story like maybe 1,000 times. Now, Brian actually got me the job at Sears, right? So Brian got me the job at Sears, and I got to work loss prevention, which, you know, is an awesome job because you don't have to wear a uniform. You just on cameras trying to find people stealing.
He also made more money than me, which is
he was a little salty about that. But
salty about that.
And here's a cool thing. You know, actually, when I first got there, it was a seasonal position. I had to walk around with a vest that said security, which was very degrading. But I needed the money, so I did it, and then they hired me. So I had never seen Brian in action, so I had gotten moved back. So I started working at Neshaminy. Remember that? And then I came back to Cottman, right? And Brian would work that merchandise pickup. Now I always knew Brian had an attitude, and you could tell, you know, people knew that Brian was a good employee because I don't know where else someone could get away with the stuff this guy pulled. This guy something had gotten him really mad.
And anything. It could be anything. It could
have been anything. It was probably a breakdown in process.
I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead. Breakdown in process.
And it was an appliance. I want to say it was a refrigerator. He was so mad he wanted to break his like little what was that?
The SNCC.
The SNCC, right?
Yeah.
Which is like
Sears Network Communicator.
yeah. It you know, that's what you hit the barcode with, whatever. Yeah. This dude straight David Akered this refrigerator in front of everyone. And no one even said nothing. And then he brought it out. And then somebody in the Northeast Philadelphia somewhere like, yo, my freezer is not working because my man, like, he kicked it so hard. And then I looked around. I'm like, at first I was scared for you because I'm like, oh, he's going to get fired. Like, there's no way you could just punt an appliance and then just, you know, roll it out to the customer. But he did it. And I was like, okay, I see what it is. Brian has a temper, but apparently he's worth keeping because he's allowed to kick appliances.
Just like the NFL. Just like the NFL. If you're productive, you can beat your wife. You know what I mean? And it's Sears, if you're productive, you can beat the shit out of appliances. Listen,
it's true.
That's not even the most thug shit I did.
Oh, it's not. It definitely isn't. And that's the thing. That was what I got introduced.
That was a good day. Breakdown in process.
Yeah. And the worst thing is, like, when you're mad, right, so everyone knows, like, when you're extra. I think everyone who gets mad and is pissed off becomes extra, right? Everything you do is more labored. You're doing, or you end up being like more like I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Right. So I saw Brian lift up whole, like washing machines and stuff. No technique.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna be on the scoliosis train. You know.
Back curve like I wake up in an S. You know what I mean? Like a money symbol. Just hurting. You know?
I was like, I will see you lift that. I'm like, his back gonna hurt. He's gonna snap his back.
Yeah. Oh man, there goes the whatchamacallit vein. That's how I got the nickname Fridge at Sears, though, was because of lifting refrigerators. The craziest shit one time, actually, I don't know if you were there for this. They sold a workout set on the floor one time, like the whole thing, the lat pull down, the tricep joint.
I already know what you're gonna say because I don't know what happened, but I would have already been pissed off because those things are horrendous. I've helped move those. Like, not for work, but like,
yeah. Oh, remember this was on the bottom floor. I dragged it from the workout section all the way to the elevator, up the elevator, off the elevator to merchandise pickup. It took me 2 hours. It took me 2 hours to do it.
That's wild.
Yeah, I didn't have to load it on the car though, thank God. I mean, I couldn't take this apart. I didn't have the tool. Like there was legitimately nothing I could do. You know what I mean? I couldn't get towels to put on the floor. No one could lift it. Who was going to lift that thing? Yeah, for sure. I should not have been doing it. I scratched the floor. This floor, I promise you the scratches are still on that floor from when I had to do that day. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was the craziest, the craziest, most ridiculous shit I did there. I also launched a 27-inch Sylvania one time because I was angry. I mean, just a full pickup throw, like I was trying to kill Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, I threw that bitch across the warehouse because I was mad one day. And then I took that one out. It didn't come back. That was when technology was made to last. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was made to last. These
even if it was a Sylvania.
Exactly. These TVs these days, if I took one of these bitches and launched it, it's gone for life. You know what I mean? It'll never be the same after that. But this is when I had the Nokia. You know what I mean? And remember, I launched that Nokia multiple times, and it always broke into the same 5 pieces, and it always reassembled. It always came back together.
Our electronics were different.
Yeah, it was a different time. It was a different life.
Case? We didn't have cases.
No, we didn't need cases.
No, it was built in.
My phone was the case for my leg. In case a stray bullet caught me, the Nokia was gonna eat that bullet for me, and I would be able to text somebody after. You know what I mean? No question. A different time, but that was great. That was a great story at Sears. Yeah. Yeah, I had anger issues at Sears. I paid for that at Temple finally. You know what I mean? When I broke the wall. You know, it was a long anger. The thing is, though,
and this all ties back to therapy. You know,
Yeah, correct. We're full circle now.
full circle.
Yeah, no. But my anger isn't the same than it used to be. You know what I mean? I don't act out as much as I do. But one thing about me, and if you know anything about Sagittarius people, this is a Sagittarius thing. If we don't like you, and this is specific to me, and you can account to this, you know this about me without maybe even realizing this about me. If I don't like you, it's pretty much impossible for me to fake that I don't like you.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's going to be apparent on my face. I'm going to make snide comments. Anything you say, I'm going to make something snide because I don't like you. And that is pretty much anytime now when I get angry, like times I snap at the gym, it's because I'm playing basketball with someone I don't like who does something dumb and I snap. You know what I mean? Because I'm waiting already to snap on him anyway. You know what I mean? I don't fucking like him. You know what I mean? So that is my main thing now. You know what I mean? Is if I don't like you, that is my main, like mainly where my anger comes out. Is if I don't like you, I'm not going to hide it. I just can't. I literally cannot hide the anger, the disdain for this person. So, but that was great, man. I appreciate that story. I always love talking about funny Brian stories. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're good.
Because I always get to look back like it's a different person, even though it was 100% me.
Well, I mean, we are different people.
Oh, yeah, we are different people. It was still me, my DNA. You know what I mean? My DNA is all over that fridge. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, like, if you had committed a crime, it's to be on your record.
It's
you know
correct. I mean? Yeah, they're not going to expunge it. You know what I mean? It was me. All right, anyway. All right,
Yo.
what did you...
Won't catch me slipping if I'm actually thinking you're acting different. Manic, spitting sounds of manic, depressing, going through